Welcome to the Living in the Zone podcast with your host, Jim Fannin. This is your front row seat into the minds of champions. As a master mental performance coach, Jim will pull back the curtain on the hidden strategies that drive peak performance in sports, in business, and in life. If you're an athlete, coach, entrepreneur, or just someone who's ready to level up mentally and step into your greatness, you're in the right place. Welcome to Living in the Zone.
Welcome to Living in the Zone podcast. I am your host, Jim Fannin. I've got my co-host today, Caleb Claton. Caleb, welcome to the show.
Awesome day, Jim. Thank you.
I want to talk about one thought. You know, the average person, Caleb, you know this, has a lot of thoughts during the day, but could have anywhere from 2,000 on those nutty days when, you know, something else is driving what you're thinking. You may have 3,000 thoughts, but one thought can make a difference in a day of 2,000 or 3,000. Now, you're an expert at the S.C.O.R.E system, which is an acronym for self-discipline, concentration, optimism, relaxation, enjoyment.
Yeah.
And for this show, every one of us, everyone watching, listening, and obviously Caleb and I, we have a high or low level of self-discipline, concentration, optimism, relaxation, enjoyment. When they're all high, balanced, well, that's when the purposeful calm of the zone arrives.
Yeah.
But one thought can make a difference in bridging that gap between not in the zone and being in the zone, or being in the zone and just like that, I'm out of the zone.
Out of it.
Of course, when you realize you're in a peak performance zone state, well, right then you're not in that zone state.
Out.
So, Caleb, you're now on the other side, right?
Yes.
You're not a player anymore. You're now a leader, a coach in our company, and you're helping other people cut their thoughts
Reduce
by
their
30,
thoughts.
40%.
Yeah.
What's been the biggest challenge of all the clients that you've had? What do people need the most? Is there any thing that sticks out? Do people need self-discipline? You know, most of us don't have a blueprint.
Well, yes.
I've never had a client walk in and say, hey, here's my blueprint. Can you help me manifest it? It's never happened, ever. A life blueprint. Maybe here's what I want in my baseball or tennis or my business.
In one area.
But never for the life.
Yeah.
How about you?
I would say the biggest thing is maybe honestly been optimism. It has really been flipping their inner dialogue. Jim, as you mentioned before, we bring up to all of our clients, if I had that printout and if you talked to yourself, if I talked to you like you talk to yourself, you'd want to fire me. If I was a coach inside of your head, the way that you talk to yourself on the golf course after you hit a bad shot, or the way that you talk to yourself after a sales opportunity falls through the cracks, you'd fire me. So we need to reverse that. We have to flip that inner dialogue and make that their own best friend talking to them.
And that's not easy.
It is not, because there's been so many instances that people bring in luggage with us, Jim, off. And a lot of times when their expectations have not met reality in the past, or there's been things that have happened, those little seeds, the pebbles in the shoe, as you love to call them, they can stay with those individuals for long periods of time.
I wrote a book on that subject, Pebble in the Shoe. You can go check it out or get it on audio.
So all those little instances throughout their life when things did not go their way have built up, and now their optimism has some shards in it.
How many people walking around do you think are carrying suitcases of guilt, let's say? Do you have clients that feel guilty?
Yes. And even with success, too, you would think sometimes success would erase that or get rid of that. No, there's still guilt associated with that.
There's so much money in sports right now. There's so much money in college sports. I never thought I'd say that in my life. You know, kids making $100,000, $1 million in sports. But managing the thoughts, because now you're really a professional athlete.
Player.
You're not an amateur anymore when you're getting that kind of money and you're getting
NIL.
your school paid for, NIL kind of money. Managing thoughts is difficult. Have you had a client yet where you needed them to think more?
No. No client has ever walked in, hey, we need to speed up those thoughts. No.
You've
We
never
need
had
more
a client
thoughts.
so far?
No, I have not had that. I've never had that into this spectrum. It's always, okay, let's reduce some of these thoughts. Let's begin to chip away and remove some of these thoughts that are anchored into the past or projected into the future because they're out of the present moment.
And
right
if you're
now.
a coach out there listening, watching, you're a parent out there watching, or if you're a player and have a coach and have parents, there's a lot of sacrifice. Money with travel ball and baseball and tennis, my goodness, is an expensive sport. Don't get me talking about golf. It's more expensive, not just the equipment, but the junior travel.
Yeah.
Parents are sacrificing. We know the payout. It's like a big giant dollar sign.
It is.
With a carrot with
That
dollar
carrot
signs
hanging
on
above,
it.
yes.
And so it used to be just get a scholarship. Now it's get a scholarship with some NIL
Plus,
money.
yeah.
And I get that. But you can have guilt when you see mom taking on 2 jobs, mom and dad both working. They're sacrificing. They don't go on vacation. They don't buy themselves. And even other siblings get kind of shut out a little bit. I've seen that. And now there's jealousy in the siblings because the best one, the star of the family, gets all the not only accolades, but all the extra juice.
All the resources sometimes goes to that one
All the
individual,
assets, all the resources go to that person. So it's a really... It's a tough dynamic. And what's the bottom line? We want all the young athletes especially to start managing yourself and become world decision makers. When do you believe you became a world-class decision maker?
I would say, I had awesome parents. Mom and dad did a great job in instilling those values in me early.
Would they let you fail?
1,000%, yes.
1,000%.
Yeah, absolutely. They would let me fail to learn my lesson and understand what that looked like. But I would say early on in high school, kind of after junior high probably, but early on in high school, and they always built me up to be a leader, whether that been in the classroom with other academics, whether that been on the sporting field. But I was always raised to be a leader.
Was more important than you being a superstar athlete.
1,000%.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, congrats, Mom and Dad.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for that, but 100%.
Yeah, that's a gold standard of parenting. This show's about the S.C.O.R.E system. It's the only proven system. It's 50 years old, guaranteed to get you into a zone state. It is biochemistry-based, self-disciplines, cortisol, concentration. You got your glycogen, oxytocin to really narrow that focus. Optimism. Well, that gives you some endorphins so you feel like nothing can go wrong. You get the relaxation. That's just serotonin, and it's ease, and it gets rid of worry and anxiety. And, of course, the end product is you got to enjoy the journey. So enjoyment with dopamine, relaxation, serotonin. But once you get them all balanced, the zone arrives. And, Caleb, we've seen Zoniacs stay in that peak performance state way over a month, locked in, and then with just a little short recovery of that, pull out another one and go another month. We're coaching a lot of athletes right now. They're in the All-Star game.
Coming up this week, and we'll be also, absolutely.
By the time this airs, it'll be played, and we've got guys in the All-Star game, baseball MLB game. Think about what you think about. That's our message right now to everyone. I want you to stay tuned because I want you to listen to the final word. I've got some tips and tools on what you can do to get into that zone state, to reduce your thoughts by 30, 40%. And what happens when you have the least amount of thought? It opens windows, doesn't it?
Well, that's when that intuition, that's where all of that from that book can come into play. When those thoughts are reduced and you're just an open canvas to receive information.
So based on this, you could say that the majority of 8 billion people on the planet are not in this zone state because there's way too many thoughts.
Overthinking.
And going into the past too much, that can cause anxiety. Going into the past, that can cause freak out of major proportion going into the past. So less is more. And now let's find out who's in that zone this past weekend and who's not in that zone. And find out about, are you in the zone? And if you really want to find out how you stack up with zone performers, check out the description below. Don't forget to subscribe. Give Jimmy some love here. But also check it out because take the S.C.O.R.E challenge. It is unbelievable. Your mind is going to be blown away. Take the challenge. It's going to show if you think like the best golfer in the world, tennis player in the world. We got 24 assessments. Take a parenting assessment, and you could take a relationship assessment. Don't do it with your wife. Do it by yourself. A little FYI. But take these assessments. It's going to tell you exactly what you need, and then you got a conversation with Ryan, with Caleb, to find out and take a deeper dive on what do I need to do, and they're going to give you specifics that you can do based on your analysis.
Absolutely.
Find out if you're in the zone. So who's in the zone?
For me, I've got a little bit of an obscure one here. It's a university. This is the first time in the history of college athletics. The University of Michigan, the Wolverines, for their 4 major male sports, basketball, football, baseball, and hockey. They had a first rounder in every sport. Mitch Voigt, MLB, first rounder, two-way pitcher, infielder. Danny Wolf, big man, on the NBA, drafted. Mason Graham, nose tackle out of the Michigan Wolverines, first round pick. And William Horkoff, first rounder from Michigan to the NHL. This is the first time that's ever happened in collegiate athletics. So I'm not sure what is in the water up there at Michigan, but that has to do with something about their culture that they attract.
You can go right to their athletic
players.
Director. You know, stress runs downhill. It starts with the vision of an AD.
And the standard that I think that Michigan athletics has set an extremely high standard. We talked about that with the S.C.O.R.E system. That relates to that self-discipline. What is that minimum requirement for a satisfactory performance? And that seems to have been set at a very, very high bar from the Michigan Athletic Department.
Well, they got some tough competition in the Big Ten, so they need to do that. You got the Ohio States who also has a high standard, but way to go, Wolverines.
So Wolverines, that's an impressive feat right there.
Mason Gold, I love it.
Yes.
In the zone. I've got one, this is not obscure for me. This is a client that I've had for 3 years. His name is Jake Eder. He's a baseball player. Was on the national champion Vanderbilt team years ago, 5 years ago, I believe. And anyway, he came out drafted by the Marlins, Tommy John surgery. He was in the Celebrity All-Star game. That's why I'm bringing him up. So with this All-Star game in baseball, there's also
the Celebrity All-Star game, yeah.
Well, the up-and-coming.
Oh, yeah.
The up-and-comer, who's going to be next. Jake was in that group, pitching in that game. But last night, he finally gets called up for the Los Angeles Angels. And last night, I didn't cry, but I was fired up. I watched him throw in relief. They just took the starter out after 5 innings. Jake pitched 4 innings, 2 hits, and they were 2 cheap hits. One dropped between 3 guys. One, the guy swung with an exit velo, seemed like 100. Hit a little dribbler like a bunt. So the 2 hits were cheap. He's got a 1.93 ERA. He's pitched 9 1/3 innings, and his ERA again 1.93. Jake Eder, you're in the zone. He's now going to start for the first time in his career against the Phillies this coming Friday. Let's go, Jake.
Come on, Jake.
Let's be in the zone. Well, I have to give a shout out. When you lose a French Open final, I've coached 3 people to win a French Open title, and one guy was runner-up. So I've coached a runner-up, and we were bummed, even though we lost to Bjorn Borg a long time ago. But when you lose in an epic, the greatest match of all time, French Open, to your adversary that you're going to meet probably for the next 10 years, there's a lot of late-night thoughts you're going to have between the French Open and just 2 weeks later, Here he is at Wimbledon. And Sinner came out as the number one player in the world, backed it up, served bigger. Even during the match, Alcaraz said to his team, I can't out-rally him. I've never heard a guy say that. I've thought that personally when I was playing guys.
Especially not Alcaraz, without letting he is.
And this is one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
But Sinner was totally composed. And you know what? After he lost, his affection for his opponent was so high. His respect was so high. The kudos he gave to his team. This is a class act. Yannick Sinner, you represented Italy well. I'm so proud of not how well you've done, but the class that you had to do it. It was a bit of fresh air.
And now, Jim, I want to end with a couple baseball teams that are in the zone going into the All-Star break. Maybe two of the hottest offensive teams in baseball.
Let's hear it.
The Chicago Cubs and the Boston Red Sox. Now, the Red Sox are on a 10-game winning streak headed into the All-Star game. And the offense has completely turned around. And, Jim, I think you may have a secret for the world on a little missing component of the score system that has transformed Boston over the last 2 weeks.
Enjoyment. It's about
Enjoyment.
joy. I saw them. I'm working with Alex Cora, but they made a major shift from top to bottom for Alex Cora, all the way through the coaches, all the way to the players. They made that shift. It was palpable when they made it. You could see it. And then it just ignited. The zone is contagious. I can get in the zone. I can get you in the zone. I can get Ryan in the zone. I can get a couple other team members. Next thing you know, our company's in the zone. And that's how it really works. But Red Sox, you're the hottest team definitely in the American League right now. And the Cubbies, you are the hottest team in the National League. And we're going to be there. We'll be there. I will be on the field before the game, definitely. And anyway, it's going to be fun. I hope the weather's good. I saw a little rain, but if you don't like the weather in Chicago, wait a while. 20 minutes later, it'll be fine. It's going to be a fun week. I'm excited. And who's not in the zone? I don't even like to say this, but I did lose in the finals of a tournament in my career. 6-0, 6-0 in the finals. Mortally embarrassed I was. Here I am in the finals. Amanda Anamasova, she got blitzed by the top player in the world. Iga at 6-0, 6-0 in the finals, not in the zone, deer in the headlights, very concerned. You could see it all over her face from the very, very beginning. But I just need to say, girl, you have done amazing. You've had mental challenges in your career. You took time off. You've come back. Do not let this bother you. Success is getting up one more time from that finals defeat. You had a great tournament. Beat the number one player in the world. So I'm not going to discount that. You're not in the zone in the finals, but you're in the zone for the tournament. Let's go on and have yourself a great rest of the summer, and we'll see you at the U.S. Open.
Yeah. For myself, who's not in the zone, this is going to be somebody who has been in the zone for me a couple of times this year, but we're going to go across the pond to the Scottish Open and Scottie Scheffler. Yes, I know he tied for 8th, a top 10 finish for Scottie, but his emotions.
How do you tell someone that's in the top 10 that you're not in the zone? But he's got a gold standard that's pretty high.
Yes, Scottie Scheffler has maybe the highest standard on tour for managing his emotions, managing his reactions, being that steadfast, forward focus, calm and cool. Nothing affects him. But I'm not sure if you saw some of the clips this weekend. Scottie had himself some happy moments. He had some Happy Gilmore moments on the green where he is yelling at the ball, why are you not going in your home ball? You belong there. But it was funny to see because Scottie never has those emotional reactions like that. And yes, I think he was kind of joking with himself, but two, he let his emotions
maybe
take
because
control.
He's out of the country, he thought, well, no one will know. You know, I'm in
Nobody's
Scotland.
going to see.
I'm in Scotland. Come on.
So his self-discipline was down from what that high standard is to him, where he has that reserve. He has that patience.
Well, the British Open's coming up
this week.
That's obviously we'll see if he makes the transition back to being the Scottie that we all know.
That high standard that we know. Yes.
Thank you, Zoniacs, for watching the clip Who's in the Zone. And if you'd like to see the full podcast, go to Spotify or check it out in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe so we can send the show directly to you. Zoniacs, be in the zone. It's the only place to be.